All praise and great glory to the existing one and only one of our fathers. Shalom, beloved Israel. This is your brother Deshaun, coming at you one more again with another lesson. You know, Israel, our roadmap is packed with examples on no matter how bleak it is, we never give up our faithful service to a creator that knows all, that sees all, that sees our works. He tests the heart and he tries the reins to see of what sort it is. All praise and great glory to the mighty Most High. Yeah, in my little quick video I did earlier, I forgot to turn on that one of my lights, and yeah, I made it back just fine without any of them rattlesnakes, popping out on me. I remember before I went out the gate, I had to take out the trash, and it was dark, but I went to take it out anyway. And if you've never seen a massive javelina before, might be in for a treat. It looks like a pig, but it's not. And that thing, it's got a longer snout, and they're hairy. And when they're standing in front of you, it looks like a hell pig. Yeah. So then I ran into a rattlesnake, and man, it was it was crazy. It was actually two rattlesnakes, or it might have been a king snake, which eats rattlesnakes. Either way, real soon afterwards, I had them two snakes, or the javelina turned around and ran off. But those two snakes was like, I forget what movie that was, where that dude was like, they shooting y'all. I wasn't getting bit. I had to double time and get my ass back inside. But all praise and great glory to the mighty Most High, our protector, our strength, our greatest love. Shout out to Pokey Rut, Sister Felicia Downer, much love. Sister Yakia Yasharel, I love you, beloved sister. Brother Emmanuel and Sister Chardonnay, much love. Brother Rakima, keep on keeping on. Brother Ray D, love you, brother. Peace and blessings to you all. Brother Rod Walker and many others. All my beloved royal brothers and sisters. As we continue to climb that mountain to purify ourselves and keep our lamps lit in this late hour, in this sixth seal. I mean, look at how crazy as hell this world is, Israel. We are seeing the marvelous works of the mighty Most High. Never give up. We are too close. We have scripture here. Galatians 6:9-10. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Therefore, as we have opportunity, let us do good to all people, especially to those who belong to the family of believers. Shout out also to Red Skies. Shout out to Sister Letitia. Shout out to you all, Israel. Keep yourselves clean and away from sin. We are about to get the hell out of here. You know, there are enough nations, as I stated in a video in the past, that are joining the BRICS. Which means that the dollar is already on life support. And I'm going to research more on it, but I do believe that Germany and is it Great Britain that joined the BRICS? The US dollar is in a lot of trouble, and that is designed by the Most High, because we are about to come back on top. He is keeping his promise, Israel, and we got next. Hebrews 11:7. And without faith, it is impossible to please the Most High, because anyone who comes to him must believe that he exists, and he exists alone, and that he rewards those who earnestly seek him. By faith, Noah, when warned about things not yet seen, in holy fear built an ark to save his family. By his faith, he condemned the world and became heir of the righteousness that is in keeping with faith. James 2:14-16. And 17. What good is it, my brothers and sisters, if someone claims to have faith but have no deeds? Can such faith save them? 15. Suppose a brother or a sister is without clothes and daily food. If one of you says to him, "Go in peace, keep warm and well fed," but does nothing about their physical needs, what good is it? In the same way, faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead. Faith without works is dead. All praise to the mighty Most High. Solid examples in Scripture on just how works and loyal faith in our God can get us closer to the finish line. Okay, we all know in Genesis 39, Joseph, of the beloved bloodline, in Genesis, he was discarded by his brothers, the other nine, and they threw him into that well, and then they sold him into slavery, and he ended up in Egypt. His testimony was proof that faith without works is dead. Genesis 39, 7 through 9. And after a while, his master's wife took notice of Joseph and said, "Come to bed with me." But he refused. "With me in charge," he told her, "my master does not concern himself with anything in the house. Everything he owns, he has entrusted to me, to my care. No one is greater in this house than I am. My master has withheld nothing from me except you." And that's the works. Faith without works is dead. Because you are his wife. Okay? And here's the important part. Because you are his wife, how then could I do such a wicked thing and sin against the Most High God? All praise to the mighty Most High alone. You know, Joseph was a well-built man. He was in good shape and very smart, and he became prominent even in his captivity. Even in his captivity. You see, we are here in this captivity, which is building our character, which is building our faith, and which is building our loyal love in that we love with all our heart, all our minds, all our strength. Our ancestors were given everything. They wandered through the desert for 40 years, and their clothing didn't even fray. Their sandals didn't even wear out. They were fed to the full with manna. But we weren't satisfied, were we? Now, we have to work for a kingdom that is the most beautiful thing any of us have ever seen, where we will be forever with our God. Genesis 39, 11 through 12. One day he went into the house to attend to his duties, and none of the household servants was inside. She, being Potiphar's wife, caught him by his cloak and said, "Come to bed with me." But he left his cloak in her hand and ran out of the house. Man, that takes some solid discipline, doesn't it? Oh, let me stop. Because of his obedience and faith, Joseph prospered. Oops. Let me get back over there. This nutty computer. Somebody needs a class in computers. Whew. Genesis 39, 20 through 23. But while Joseph was in prison, okay, because he was falsely accused by Potiphar's wife, he wouldn't lay down with her, but his main concern was not pissing off Potiphar, which could have had him killed. But he did not want to disobey God and sin against God. Okay, in Genesis 39, 22 through 23. But while Joseph was in the prison, the Most High was with him. He showed him kindness and granted him favor. Oh, praise to the mighty Most High. In the eyes of the prison warden. Man, even back then our people were going in and out of prison. 22. So the warden put Joseph in charge of all those held in the prison, and he was made responsible for all that was done there. 23. The warden paid no attention to anything under Joseph's care, because the Most High was with Joseph and gave him success in whatever he did. All praise to the mighty Most High. Now, we come to, and we know that, the ending was because Joseph steadfast in the obedience of the mighty Most High. He was not only able to help Egypt from that famine, but he was also able to save Israel. Moving on, Daniel 3:16 through 30. Sirach, Daniel, Meshach, and Abednego replied to him, King Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you in this matter. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to deliver us from it, and he will deliver us from your majesty's hand. All praise to the Most High. But even if he does not, we want you to know, your majesty, that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold you have set up. Okay. Verse 19. If this thing can stop. The devil is on one tonight. Verse 19. Then Nebuchadnezzar was furious with Sirach, Meshach, and Abednego, and his attitude toward them changed. He ordered the furnace heated 7 times hotter than usual, and commanded some of the strong soldiers in his army to tie up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and threw them into the blazing furnace. So these men, wearing their robes, trousers, turbans, and other clothes, were bound and thrown into the blazing furnace. The king's command was so urgent, and the furnace so hot, that the flames of the fire killed the soldiers who took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. That's what they asses get for messing with my damn ancestors. Oh my goodness. Here we go again. My apologies, Israel. Okay. All right. Where are we at? All right. Verse 23. Oh my God. I'm a little rusty too, Israel. I haven't been doing this for a while. It's a blessing to serve the Most High with all of you in this lesson. The king's commands were so urgent that the furnace, okay, we already read that. Verse 23, and these 3 men firmly tied, fell into the blazing furnace. Then King Nebuchadnezzar leaped to his feet in amazement and asked his servants, weren't there 3 men that we tied up and threw into the fire? They replied, correctly, your majesty. He said, look, I'm sorry. I just laugh every time because I can only imagine his face. I'm sorry. 25. He said, look, I see 4 men walking around in the fire, unbound and unharmed. And the fourth looks like a son of God's, an angel. Goodness. I get so excited with this word, this glorious word. Verse 28. Nebuchadnezzar then approached the opening of the blazing furnace and stood. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, servants of the Most High God, come out, he said. Come out. So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came out of the furnace, of the fire, and the satraps, prefects, governors, and royal advisors crowded around them. They saw that the fire had not harmed their bodies, nor was a hair of their heads singed. Their robes were not scorched, and there was no smell of fire on them. All praise to the mighty Most High. Then Nebuchadnezzar said, Praise be to the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who has sent his angel and rescued his servants. They trusted him and defied the king's command and were willing to give up their lives rather than to serve or worship any god except their own God. Therefore, I decree that the people of any nation or language who say anything against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego be cut into pieces, and their houses be turned into piles of rubble. For no other God can save in this way. Oh, praise to the mighty Most High. He exists, Israel. And our trust and loyalty in him brings favor. But we have to be right. We have to be clean in his sight and blameless. Then the king proposed Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon. Promoted them, Here we go. Daniel 6:3-5. Now Daniel so distinguished himself among the administrators of the satraps by his exceptional qualities that the king planned to set him over the whole kingdom. At this, the administrators and the satraps tried to find grounds for charges against Daniel in his conduct of government affairs. They were jealous, just like the nations. Nothing new under the sun, right? But they were unable to do so. They could not find no corruption in him because he was trustworthy and neither corrupt nor negligent. Finally, these men said, we will never find any basis for charges against this man. All praise and great glory to the mighty Most High. Daniel, unless it has something to do with the law of his God. Daniel 3:6-9. So these administrators and satraps went as a group to the king and said, May King Darius live forever. The royal administrators, prefects, satraps, advisors, and governors have all agreed that the king should issue an edict and enforce the decree that anyone who prays to another god or human being during the next 30 days, except you, your majesty, shall be thrown into the lion's den. Nor your majesty, now your majesty, issue the decree and put it in writing so that it cannot be altered in accordance with your law, with the law of the Medes and Persians, which cannot be repealed. So King Darius put the decree in writing. They were setting up Daniel 6:10-12. Now, when Daniel learned that the decree had been published, he went home to his upstairs room where the window opened toward Jerusalem. He was praying to the east. There, 3 times a day, he got down on his knees and prayed, giving thanks to his God, just as he had done before. Then these men went as a group, here they are again, just like the nations, and found Daniel praying and asking God for help. So they went to the king and spoke to him about his royal decree. Did you not publish a decree that during the next 30 days, anyone who prays to any god or human being except you, your majesty, would be thrown into the lion's den? Then King answered, the decree stands in accordance with the law of the Medes and Persians, which cannot be repealed. See, the king didn't want to do that. They tricked him into doing it, and just to get at Daniel, because they couldn't come at him in any other way. Sound familiar, Israel? Daniel 6:15-17. This is mostly NIV version. Then the men went as a group to the king Darius and said to him, remember, your majesty, that according to the law of the Medes and Persians, no decree or edict that the king issues can be changed. 16. So the king gave the order, and they brought Daniel and threw him into the lion's den. The king said to Daniel, he really respected Daniel. The king said to Daniel, may your God, whom you serve, continually rescue you. Afterwards, let me finish. 17. A stone was brought and placed over the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet ring and with the rings of his nobles, so that Daniel's situation might not be changed. Oh, this again. The devil don't want this lesson out. How our glorious one works and moves for his chosen. It's saying that I misspelled chosen. Oh well, I might have. I don't know. Daniel 6:19 through 28. At the king was he paced all night. He did not eat and he did not partake in any pleasures. He was worried about Daniel, but he had to keep his decree that he was tricked into doing in the first place. Daniel 6:19 through 28. At the first light of dawn, the king Darius got up and hurried to the lion's den. When he came near, all praise to the mighty Most High, the den, he called to Daniel in an anguished voice. Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom you serve continually, been able to rescue you from the lion's den? All praise to the mighty Most High. Daniel answered, may the king live forever. My God sent his angel, and he shut the mouths of the lions. They have not hurt me, because I was found innocent in his sight, nor have I ever done any wrong before you, my majesty. All praise to the mighty Most High. This ain't fables. This ain't fairy tales, story time. This is the Most High that we serve, him and him alone. There are no other gods but him. He don't need help from nothing or no one. The Most High exists, and his love for his chosen children, Israel, is everlasting. His patience and his love and his awesome, genuine goodness. All praise to the mighty Most High. Verse 24. At the king's command, the men who had falsely accused Daniel were brought in and thrown into the lion's den, along with them their wives and their children. And before they reached the floor of the den, the lions overwhelmed them and crushed all their bones. Then King Darius wrote to all the nations and peoples of every language in all the earth. May you prosper greatly. I issue a decree that in every part of my kingdom, people must fear and reverence the God of Daniel. For he is the living God, and he endures forever. His kingdom will not be destroyed. His dominion will never end. He rescues and he saves. Okay, just a second. He rescues and he saves. He performs signs and wonders in the heavens and on earth. He has rescued Daniel from the power of the lions. So Daniel prospered during the reign of Darius and the reign of Cyrus, the Persians. Lastly, Matthew 24:13 through 14. But he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. It's Matthew 24:13. We are almost to the finish line. Very soon, Israel, we are about to come back in full contact. We have to be clean first and all that dross off of us. But when it happens, it's going to be powerful because he is powerful. At any time did it say them, they, or whatever? No, it said he. Him alone. Anything else is falsehood and blasphemy. The Most High exists. Everything that we do is to be for him. We endure to the end, Israel. Shout out to you too, April and Mayo. Shout out to the whole house of Israel. Endure to the end, because we are about to cross that finish line. Babylon is fallen, and she will never arise again. The Most High is keeping his decree to us, Israel. We are about to go back on top, and these nations will bow down to us and return our roadmap, our glorious book, our inheritance. And like the children of Israel that came out of the land of Egypt, they came face to face with the mighty Most High. There's nothing new under the sun. We have to remain blameless. All praise to the mighty Most High alone. Israel, and to the stranger that is totally amongst us, if nobody told you that they loved you today, Brother Deshaun would like to say that I love and cherish each and every one of you.